They've essentially legalized fraudulent voting in California and New York and many other parts of the country.
There's no rational explanation that I've ever seen anyone give as to why that would be the policy. Unless you were trying to just allow people to vote illegally, because there's no other reason. If you need a driver's license or you need an ID for everything else,
Yes.
including just recently to prove that you were vaccinated.
The same people who are demanding that you have a vaccine passport and are the same ones saying you need no ID to vote. Same people.
Right, but like...
So it's obviously hypocritical and inconsistent.
So you really think it's just to get more voters?
If you want to understand behavior, you have to look at the incentives. Once the Democratic Party in the U.S. and the left in Europe realized that if you have open borders and you provide a ton of government handouts, which creates a massive financial incentive for people from other countries to come to your country, and you don't prosecute them for crime, they're going to be beholden to you, and they will vote for you. And that's why Obama and Hillary went from being against open borders to being in favor of open borders. That's the reason. In order to import voters so they can win elections. And the problem is that has a negative runaway effect. So if they get away with that, it is a winning strategy. If they are allowed to get away with it, they will import enough voters to get supermajority voting, and then there is no turning back.
We talked about this before the election, and then
Yes.
you literally pointed towards the camera. You faced the camera and said that if you do not vote now, you might not ever be able to do it again because
Right.
it'll be futile. It'll be overrun.
Yes.
They'll keep the borders open for another 4 years, and then their objective will be achieved.
Correct. If Trump had lost, there would never have been another real election again, because Trump is actually enforcing the border. Now you can point to situations where there's been immigration enforcement has been overzealous, because they're not going to be perfect. There'll be cases where they've been overzealous in expelling illegals. But if you say that the standard must be perfection for expelling illegals, then you will not get any expulsion, because perfection is impossible.
And you've probably got millions of people that are here that are trying to be here under some asylum pretense, right?
Yes.
Like you could just come from a war-torn part of the world.
They changed the definition of asylum to be economic
Right.
asylum,
Which is everybody.
Which is everybody.
Yeah.
So
It's the lowest bar to prove.
Asylum is supposed to mean that if you go back to your country, you'll get killed.
Right.
That's what we mean by asylum. That was what it's supposed to mean. They changed the definition of asylum to be you will have a decreased standard of living, which is obviously not real asylum. And you can test the absurdity of this by the fact that people who are asylum seekers go on vacation to the country that they're seeking asylum from. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
When you understand the incentives, then you understand the behavior. So once the left realized that illegals will vote for them if they have open borders and combine that with government handouts.
Yeah.